Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the elders apostles, great millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Starting with elder parts of Tahar on down. Also like to give double honors to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give a quick shout out to Yeshua Aki and that's pushing his word and his truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. To y'all, I'd like to say Shalom. It's lucky for my voice. Sound like I'm about to lose it. Lord willing, I don't. But anyway, I'm going to still do this lesson to the best of my ability. But pretty much I want to do a lesson. Going into this little Jake, that I saw on TikTok, playing the instrument. And Jake, Jake ain't nothing but, 2 years old playing this. It's like, damn, like, the Lord really, his nation is really, beautiful, man. For this little 2-year-old Jake, to be playing this instrument at this age, not too many people can do that, that's way older than him, and pretty much we have people in the comments talking about, reincarnation, and this Jake, could be somebody coming back in this life, that's good at playing this instrument, because you do have, people of our nation that was playing this instrument in the days of old, and they're just coming back, And when I play the video, you be like, damn, this Jay had to play this back in his life. For him to be that good at it at his age, man, at the age of 2 at that, he was probably somebody cold back then, man. So I'm gonna play the clip so y'all can see it, and then I'm gonna show y'all the comments that I saw. All right, without further ado, let's start it.
Oh, that boy sound good. Cut up, boy. Cut up, boy. Yes, sir. Bow, take a bow, sonny. That's it.
See that? Lil Jay was Lil Jay was cold with it, man. That Lil Jay had to hit the little bow at the end of it. That goes to show you, man, the Lord, nation, like the scripture say, man, we the salt of the earth, man. Alright, but the salt loses roughly paraphrasing, salt loses God. Then what is that nation? Roughly paraphrasing, brothers know what I'm talking about. But the point of the matter is, man, we the salt of this nation, man. I mean, we the salt of the earth, man. These other nations ain't got nothing on Jakes, man. So the comments, that I saw, it says, all right, we are our ancestors. And that's right. Technically, we are our ancestors. All right, coming back, man. We are our ancestors coming back, man. All right, there's no new thing under the sun, man. All right, we all been here before. That's why that's why they say history repeat itself, and that's why they also say, "Damn, boy, you remind me of your great grandfather." That's because 9 times out of 10, he could be his great grandfather coming back in reincarnation, And then there's another comment that I saw that really, made me want to do this lesson. It says, little waters made it back to us, and if you, little waters, I said waters, little Walter, he was a musician back in the day, and he was a very great musician, You can watch a movie on them too as well. You know, they got a movie out about them. You know, you can go watch that if you want to watch it. But just like you, I ain't gonna try to make this too long because man, my voice is ass. But Little Walter, you know, was a musician back in his day, a very, you know, great musician. And they talking about Little Walter made it back to us, meaning it made it back to us in the reincarnation. You know, hey, who's to say he's not? You know, could be Little Walter, you know, coming back in his reincarnation. You know, but the point of the matter is, how people starting to understand reincarnation. You know, so I'm gonna prove through the scriptures that, you know, reincarnation is actually biblical, man. It's not just no fairy tale false or just no saying. It's actually real, man. Now, when we say reincarnation, we don't mean like when you die, you can come back as a damn bear or a shark or you know, a fucking bug or something like that. No, you come back as a person, you know. So let's get a couple of scriptures, man. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse. Matter of fact, we get Ecclesiastes start at verse 1. I mean, it's chapter 1 starting at verse 9. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which should be, and that which is done is that which should be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. You see that? There's nothing new under the sun, man. Alright? And we all are under the sun right now, man. And Lord said there is nothing new. I mean, people, insects, trees, you know, nothing. There's nothing new under the sun, man. Unless Esau created it, you know, he created all type of bullshit. But whatever the Lord created, there's nothing new of. Which that goes from, you know, people, you know, just like that little boy that you saw in the video. He's not no new soul, man. He's an ancient soul. All right, he got a new body, but his soul is ancient. You know, that body is new. That body is like the shell, right? It's like snake skin. You know, when a snake, you know, when they shed, hey, they get new skin. But guess what? That snake is old. They just got new skin. You know. Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already an old time, which was before us. You see that? It was already an old time, man. You know? That's why when people be like, oh, that baby ain't do shit. That baby, when that baby died or something, then why that baby die? Because that baby an ancient soul, man. He's not innocent. That's why he died. He might have did something in his past life that got him put to death. You know? Because none of us is innocent at the end of the day, man. None of us. Because none of us ain't new souls. We all ancient. And that's where Esau get the concept of recycle. Because that's what the Lord does. The Lord recycle souls and reuse them. You know? He just put them in new bodies. That's it. Verse 11. It said there is no remembrance of former things. That's why you don't remember, you know, what happened. Because the Lord said there is no remembrance. The Lord didn't put it in your remembrance to remember who you was in your past life or to remember what you did in your past life. Now, you may get deja vu or whatever, but for the most part, you don't necessarily remember, oh, I did that, or I did this. No. You know, now we do have a concept. Lord willing, we be other prophets. We know that we prophesied back then. Lord willing, we be those men, you know. But it said there's no remembrance of former things. Neither should there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that should come after. You see, even those that come after, there's going to be no remembrance of what they did, you know. So let's go over to the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 7. It says, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and the fourth generations. You see, so this is a scripture pretty much saying that, you know, we come back every third or fourth generations, man. All right, the Lord have it to where Jakes come back every 3 to 4 generations. So that's about what, every 30 to 40 years, man. You know, it could be a little longer than that, but for the most part, it's every 30 to 40 years. You know, around there. So, yes, the scriptures back up reincarnation, man. It's not no fairy tale. It's real. And like I said, reincarnation ain't where, you know, you come back where you come back as a bug or something. No, that what that is, Hindu, Buddha, one of the damn two. It might be both, I don't know. But it's one of them them fake ass religions that say you can come back as a damn fucking animal or something, you know, once you die. But that's madness, man. That's why we tell Jason, don't even follow these other, you know, religions, because they fugazi, man. You know, they BS, you know. So let's get this last precept. We're gonna close it out. Alright, and this is an account in the scriptures. And the reincarnation is biblical. Why didn't Yahweh Shah rebuke them for asking this question, man? You know? Well, really, he asked them the question. Why would Yahweh Shah even ask them the question? And I'm gonna get it. It's in the book of Matthew, chapter 16. And I'm gonna start at verse 13. Matthew 16 and verse 13. When Yahweh Shah came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do man say that I, the Son of Man, am? So Yahweh Shah was asking, who do the people think I am? You know, basically coming back in my life. Verse 14, it said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, and some Elias. Now Elias was way before, you know, Yahweh Shah time. You know, Elias would be Elijah, right? And other Jeremiah, even Jeremiah would be Jeremiah. Even Jeremiah was way before, you know, Yahweh Shah time. Now these are two, you know, prophets that was way before Yahweh Shah time. So why would they even say that? You know, because they understood that you have to come back in your life, right? And one of the prophets, you see, so they thought he was either Elijah or Jeremiah or one of the other prophets, you know. So this goes to prove to you right here, hey, that our people understood the concept of, you know, reincarnation. I'm gonna finish it off. Verse 15. What the fuck? Verse 15 says, he said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the son, it's like it, thou art the anointed of Mashiach. Let me read it again. It says, and Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the anointed, the son of the living power, Yahweh. You see that? So Peter said, listen, you know, you the son of Yahweh, man. You know? But the main point was that our people understood, you know, that, you know, the concept of reincarnation. Because why would they say, you know, you Jeremiah or you Elijah or one of the other prophets? So that goes to tell you that our people was talking about this even in the days of old. Like, oh, he could be him, or he could be him, or she could be her, you know? Just like how we do it today. You know, we speculate who certain man could be in the spirit, you know? Just like how our elders believe King Masha is King David, you know? So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm closing with giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Start with Elder Apostle Tahar now. I also like to give double honors to the head and the elder, the man of Israel camp, the Chazak, My teacher down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.